Hey guys, welcome back to this series of short stories. Now, I've shared a few stories about meeting celebrities and my experience with that. This one is not that one at all, but please keep watching because it's an absolute classic. So, obviously, I live in the UK. I'm from the UK. And in the UK, we have supermarkets, uh, three or four really big supermarkets. And one of those, I think it's the biggest, but anyway, don't quote me on that one. But it's called Tesco. Okay, I know they're worldwide now, but obviously it's a UK company. So I'm in sales, so I sell products. And on this one particular day, and this was about 8, 9 years ago, had one of my clients actually text me and said, "Hey Anton, I'm not at the shop today, but is there any chance you could come around my house and show me the products, and I'll give you an order at my house, and it will save you driving all the way to the shop?" Because she actually only lived about half a mile away from my house. And I also knew that she was really heavily pregnant. So I'm absolutely 100%, no problem. I will, I'll come round and I'll actually see you in about half an hour if that's okay. And she went, "Yeah, no worries. I'll see you in half an hour." So this was probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Drove to her house, got my cases out the car with all my products, and knocked on the door. She answered the door. She was about 8 months pregnant. So we talked about babies and all that sort of stuff, obviously with me having children. And this was her first child. So she was super excited, a bit nervous. I was giving her a little bit of help and guidance. So I brought my cases. So I have these big like sample cases. So I brought the cases into her house and went into the kitchen. She's got this like big oak kitchen table. And I put the sample cases underneath the table just to get them out of the way for a moment. She was making me a cup of coffee, so started drinking the coffee, and the doorbell rang. So she went to answer the door. I'm sat at the kitchen table drinking my coffee. Sample cases are under the table, you couldn't see them. So next thing you know, she says, "Oh yes, come on in." And this guy, who was a Tesco's delivery driver, walked into her house with all these baskets of food. So me being me, naturally, I got up, said hi, and said, "Look, hey, do you want me to give you a hand?" Obviously, again, because she's 8 months pregnant, I'm thinking she's not capable of doing anything. Typical man. But yeah, she said, "Yeah, no, absolutely no worries." So I'm starting to put all the food away in the cupboards. The guy's gone out to the van to get some more shopping, and we're having a good old chat, the three of us. And he's saying to this lady, "Or when are you due soon?" And she's like, "Yeah, about 3 or 4 weeks." And he's like, "Oh, that's amazing," blah blah blah. And he started talking about his kids. I wasn't really saying much, just smiling and adding the odd comment, putting all the food away in her cupboards, and generally just helping out. So that was it. After about 10 minutes, everything was done. He got all the empty trays, these like green plastic trays, and took them back out to the van, and he drove off. And we sat down. I'd finished my coffee at that point and got all my sample cases out, and she gave me an order. Fantastic, great. Wished her all the best for the pregnancy, because I knew I wouldn't be seeing her for a few months, and went back to my house, which was again like half a mile to a mile down the road. So I parked up at my house and went into my house and made a few phone calls, and just was generally doing some work. So then I went to pick the kids up from school, which was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the kids were at home. I was at home, and my wife arrived home about 5 o'clock. And about 5:10, the doorbell rang. And I looked at my wife and went, "Are we expecting anyone?" And she went, yeah. It's the Tesco's shop. I did an online shop and they're delivering it." And she was sort of talking to me as I opened the door, and she was in the kitchen. And I opened the door and straight away realized, and he realized who I was. I realized who he was. And it was the same guy that I'd seen 5-6 hours earlier in this girl's house, right? So he looks at me and he's standing there with this basket of shopping, locked eyes on me, absolutely like gobsmacked, didn't know what to say, because running through his head, he was thinking, "Oh my goodness gracious, this guy is obviously having an affair and having a child with the other lady, but he's now at home with his kids and his wife. And I just do not know what to do, and I do not know what to say." At the same time he was thinking that, the same time I was thinking, "Oh, he thinks I'm having an affair, and he thinks that other lady's my wife, and my girlfriend, or my bit on the side, and he thinks that, my wife doesn't know, and my kids are here, and da, da, da." And one of my daughters came up to me and she was like, "Are you okay, Daddy?" And I'm like, yep, fine. And then I just went, "No, right, I know what you're thinking, but no, you don't understand. Like, that was a customer of mine, and I had to go and see her." And I started explaining this whole story. And at that stage, my wife came up to me as well from behind, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I had to spit out this story, and eventually I managed to get the story out, and the Tesco's delivery driver was like, "Okay, thank you," because I thought, da 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 da. And I went, "Yeah, I know you did. And I'm just explaining to you, this is my wife, these are my children, and I wasn't having an affair with somebody else and got them pregnant. They're actually a client of mine, and I was doing an order, and she couldn't go to the shop, so she wanted me to go." It was hilarious. I'll never forget it. I told the customer about it a couple of days later. She was in absolute stitches, and we still talk about it at conventions and things like that today, because it was just one of those absolute classic moments. One of those stories that it just looked so bad at one stage, and obviously it wasn't anything like that at all. So I just thought I'd tell you that really funny story. I loved it. I hope you love it. I hope I gave you a bit of a laugh today. And yeah, that's one of those one of life's moments, I suppose, where, things on the outside look so much different from what they actually are. So yeah, just remember that. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm brand new. I've only just started this channel, and yeah, put some comments in below, and let's have some fun with some conversations going. And again, if you did like the video, I've got loads more of these little short stories that you can see. Click on the videos now. All right, take care. God bless. Bye.